things continue to get worse for the once greatest franchise of all time. Star Wars is falling apart. Today we're going to look at all of the breadcrumbs that might be leading us towards a franchise reboot. But is it too little, too late? Hey everybody, and welcome back to Echo Base Network. Today we're looking at all of the things that show us that a reboot is likely coming. And some of these things we've not mentioned in our last live stream. We're going to go a little bit deeper in this situation than we did on our Friday night live show that we just had, where we did talk about this very thing. If you look at everything going on from this perspective, it really paints a clear image. And we need to start at the very bottom, and that's going to be, obviously, The Acolyte. The worst Star Wars that we've ever gotten, by far. Leslie Headland thought that she was going to be doing a Season 2. She's not doing a Season 2 at all. It is over. Well, a report just came out from our friends over at That Park Place just a couple days ago, where The Acolyte was revealed to went $50 million over budget. Over $50 million, more than they even said that they were spending. You know, when we were watching Acolyte, thought, this thing cost $180 million? How can you justify this show being a $180 million show when it is absolute trash? Well, now it comes out $230 million. That does not look good for Disney, who continues to lose money in Star Wars. But it gets worse from there. The flagship show, The Mandalorian, the show that started Disney Plus, the cornerstone, basically, of the Disney Star Wars franchise, the thing giving it life, The Mandalorian, Grogu. We know that they're coming out with a movie. Really peculiar when they announced the movie. Everybody thought, well, when is Season 4 going to come out? Is Season 4 going to be before the movie or after the movie? And I remember people arguing online about that. Well, it looks now like we're not ever going to get a Mandalorian Season 4 at all. We're going to get this movie, and if the movie doesn't do very well, that's it. And we'll occasionally see The Mandalorian and Grogu pop up in other related shows, but they won't have their own show ever again, according to the report. Now, is that terrible for Star Wars? Yeah. But did they really deserve a Season 4 after Season 3? Season 3 was quite terrible. I mean, you remember the Lizzo and Jack Black episode? It was more about Bo-Katan than Mando. It's just bad. It's really where the stability of the franchise came unraveled. Because you had the Book of Boba Fett come out. You had Kenobi. It was already unraveling, but you still had the Mandalorian, the cornerstone kind of holding it all together. And when that unraveled, this whole thing is off the rails now. So no, they didn't really deserve a Season 4. They don't deserve a movie either. It's like a Hail Mary in football. We're going to make a movie. We're going to call it The Mandalorian and Grogu. It's going to be about these characters. We're hoping it makes a lot of money. And if it does make a lot of money, then we'll wait a couple years and we'll make a sequel to that movie. That seems to be the plan or the thinking at Lucasfilm. And I'm not sure that's going to go their way either. But that's not all. Do you remember when Kathleen Kennedy marched Charmin Obaid-Chinoy and Daisy Ridley out at Star Wars Celebration? Boy, I do. And yes, we knew. We were one of the channels that brought you the breaking news with our friends That Park Place that Daisy Ridley was getting her own movie. Nobody believed us. We told you, there it is. It happened. She came walking out there. We weren't surprised at all. And what we also are not surprised about is that this movie has been shelved. It has been delayed indefinitely. It's actually kind of funny, the whole hashtag Ray delay. Well, here's another one. And now it's delayed indefinitely, which means we're not going to revive it again unless we ever say so. It is not happening right now. Basically, what that means is the movie is canceled. Now, they could pick it back up way down the road, but they can't even justify making this movie. It totally makes sense that they would delay this movie or just flat out cancel this movie because the demand is not there. And then you look at Daisy Ridley's comments lately, and where she blames men. She blames men for the negativity because they don't like Rey. That Daisy's off there. And that's a wildly different kind of comment than what we're used to getting from Daisy Ridley. She must be unhappy, as in her movie isn't happening. So let's take our comments a step further and blame somebody. And, in typical Disney Kathleen Kennedy fashion, she blames men. Okay, not surprised there at all. But look, the Rey movie, not happening. Look at the things that we've said so far. The Acolyte, bombed. Canceled season 2, not happening. It's a debacle. Mandalorian season 4, not going to happen. They're doing a movie. It's already on the books. They've already basically made it. It's going to be coming out, or they're making it. So it's going to be coming out. We know that this movie's coming out. Nothing can stop it at this point. And then the Rey movie, which was going to be the next movie, which ironically was the first one that they announced of the 4 movie projects that they had going, it's not going to happen at all. And then Taika Waititi's movie has also been shelved. Not happening, on indefinite hold, and with the Rey sequel movie alongside here, with the Barside Buzz news. So those things aren't happening. Doesn't shock me that Taika Waititi's movie's not happening at all. They're delaying all projects. They're canceling all projects indefinitely. And here's the thing that you got to remember. Lucasfilm and Disney very rarely takes the L in public. They're not going to come out and say, Star Wars isn't doing good, we're not making these movies, we're canceling these projects. No, it's you're delayed indefinitely, which means maybe forever, maybe not. Well, as a fan, you got to look at that and be like, the movie's not happening. How many things have been delayed indefinitely during the Kathleen Kennedy regime? More things that they've announced than not. Like, they've announced all these projects. Rangers of the New Republic, the Lando show, the Lando movie. I mean, just the list goes on and on and on and on and on. And with people coming in to write a movie and things, they all get delayed indefinitely. And, that just shows you the state of the franchise. But this right here is what people have not been talking about. Kathleen Kennedy's contract is up in October. I mean, we're talking about we're weeks out from her contract being up. What's going to happen here, folks? All of these projects have been delayed indefinitely. They've been canceled. They're not happening. It wouldn't even shock me if Ahsoka Season 2 all of a sudden gets delayed indefinitely. This franchise definitely needs new leadership, but it doesn't just need new leadership. They need new workers throughout, because Kathleen Kennedy has hired, it's hive mind mentality, people who believe and think just like she does. They need to clean house at Lucasfilm, but you got to have new leadership. You got to cancel everything that can be canceled, take a breather, get a new plan, and start afresh. If you want to call that a hard reboot, a soft reboot, what have you, doesn't matter. I guess it would typically be a soft reboot, because a hard reboot is more along the lines of we're using the world between worlds to come up with an alternate reality and the sequel trilogy never happened. No, this is going to be a soft reboot where the projects that they had planned are no longer happening. They're going to have to bring out new shows, new characters, new direction, and everything needs to be overhauled, because they have basically ruined Star Wars to the point where they can't financially, it's not feasible to move ahead with projects. It's just not. Nobody wants it. We're all laughing. The viewership has continued to go down show after show after show. Even going back to Ahsoka, it had the least viewership of all the Star Wars shows. And then you come out with The Acolyte. Yeah, it started out really well with the 2-episode premiere, and then from there, it was a debacle. It's the lowest rated Star Wars anything we've ever gotten. They've not had a hit show in forever. Ahsoka wasn't a hit show. They've not had a hit show basically since Mandalorian Season 2. So why not go back and do some more of that? I don't know. I don't know if they can. So, anyways, that is the picture that's being painted. We are looking at a more than likely reboot of the Star Wars franchise, but they've damaged it so much, it's going to take a long time before this thing can ever be healthy again. And I'm not sure they'll ever be able to get there. It's possible that somebody could lead Lucasfilm and get the franchise to be in a healthy state again. But right now, we're so far away from that it really does seem unlikely. Let me know in the comments what you think. We are, you are, Echo Base Network. May the Force be with you, the George Lucas Force, not that thread stuff. And we'll see you guys on the next one.